Fingers crossed. How do I look? Not my appearance. Well, my appearance on video. How's the video? I adjusted the Wi-Fi router this morning. Fingers crossed. I don't look like I'm underwater. I don't look like 1980s scrambled black and white ant races. Let me know. How's the picture? What's up? We've got Ed in the house. Uncle Rich, good morning to you. George says, good morning from the house of the rising sun. Wait, that's New Orleans. DR, what's up, Dan? Good morning, all. I will watch later on replay, but was wondering, what do you think there are too many product releases in 2022 for there to be hot, affordable products? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked because I don't have it. So thank you for the question, because otherwise it was just going to be random. Probably talk Doritos, music and movies. What's up, Herman? Good morning. Zach and Porter says, good morning. Did Keating go across the pond to make Boris step down? Man, is he powerful. What's up, Victor? Oh, crap. It looks like I've got a bad signal. Picture is absolutely normal, meaning crappy Wi-Fi. Okay. Victor, good morning. Rich says you need to go to the second location from what I'm seeing. Bo got a Whatnot ad. Oh, you know, I downloaded Whatnot. One of my dealers, actually, I think I have a couple dealers that sell on Whatnot. Now I look better. Okay, good. Because I didn't want to pick up all my crap and move to the other room again. So Whatnot. So I've never done Whatnot. I've never. I actually one of my dealers, and he owns a shop in Elk. I always get this mixed up. Elkhart or Elkhorn. I can't remember which one. But he owns a card shop over there, and he does some sales on Whatnot. And so he's telling me, I'm like, do you have a code? Like, I'll download it. Just give me a code. So I got that, and then I had to go through all these steps on Whatnot, and it was at the show, and I'm like, I don't have time. I'll do this later. I haven't got around to it. I actually, this morning I looked, and I'm like, I should probably finish signing up for Whatnot, because I do want to watch and see, because I know a few guys that are dealers at shows that do some sales, and they rave about it. I don't think I want to add another channel to do sales and make things difficult, but I don't know. I've heard good things on what they're moving, and sounds like there's people buying. So I'll check it out and see. So my Wi-Fi is looking better. That's good. Let's see. What's up, Jenny? Good morning to you. You can always start on Whatnot. I got Cooter to start on Twitter. There you go. First step. I did download the app. I just haven't finished the sign up process, the registration process through Whatnot. So basically, you know what I did. Yes, usually I go through and do this monologue talking about my day. You kind of know, because I put a bunch of videos out yesterday. So there are two additional videos that were published yesterday. The 110X, which was broken live on Hobby Evolution yesterday morning from Low Roller Scratcher. Saw the Michael Jordan insert that I pulled out of the dollar box this past Sunday. In just 3 days, was flipped on eBay for $110. So I share the story, yesterday's video. It's only 2.5 minutes, which apparently is 2 minutes and 29 seconds too long for people on the blowout forums. They get their pants in a bunch when you put links to videos up and complain. I thought I was doing them a favor. They complain when they're talking about. So I'm like, hey, I'm just going to talk 2 minutes. They can handle 2 minutes. Nope. What's this hobby coming to? And then last night I went live digging through. I bought 600 cards. I haven't counted, but I think somebody said those shoe boxes are 800 per side. It wasn't completely full. There were some penny sleeved cards, so we'll call it 600. So that's about a dime per card. Now there's several cards that'll just go into my quarter boxes. Some cards, a lot of the cards will go, a lot of the Bowman like paper cards will go into my eBay store at $150. But there was some decent cards in there. Dennis Eckersley rookie, Mookie Betts Prism draft pick, Freddie Freeman rookie card. So there was a bunch of autos, like low end autos, but hey, I'll take for a dime, I'll take it. So that video is up last night, went live, digging through that dollar box that I paid about 10 cents per card, $60 total for the whole box. I don't think I'm going to do a dime box video. I'm kind of with the videos yesterday. I may go through the dime boxes, but I think I'm going to start. I already started enlisting some of the dime box cards that I pulled out of one of the boxes yesterday. I listed about 250 cards on eBay yesterday. Did kind of a balance listing shipping throughout the day. So I think I'm gonna kind of focus on shipping today, because here's some fun stuff to talk about. This Saturday, I'm going to Baseball Card Exchange. I need to call in this and talk to them because my buddy's got my friend Scott has 1975 Topps mini unopened box that he wants to move. There's a couple sales, 12,000 plus on one sale, 15,000. I think it was one of the auction houses was the 15,000 plus sale. So we want to get to Baseball Card Exchange, have it looked at, make sure it's authentic, get it wrapped, and then we can I can help him sell that 75 Topps mini box. So that's the plan this Saturday. So I've got to call Baseball Card Exchange. I want to be prepared. I don't want to drive all the way because it's probably going to be about 4 hours for me. About 3 hours to my friend's house, and then another hour down to Baseball Card Exchange. So I want to make sure before we plan this trip that we can walk in and get this done if we need an appointment, if there's appointments available, all that good stuff. So I wanted to get that done ahead of the National and just other summer things. So that's the plan. Hopefully it all works out and we can make that trip this weekend. Jenny says, I missed every video you did yesterday. Gonna have to check it out. I spent the day getting cards organized for the card show, made a 25-cent box of all 70s cards. Oh, nice. That'll be a hit. Freddie Freeman rookie, never heard of the guy. TD asks Jenny if she grades cards. There's Cooter. Been grumpy all morning. Kurt Schilling showed up first on my feed this morning. Damn, I am glad he lost his fortune. Kurt Schilling. Ugh. Jenny says, I don't never graded, but do own some graded that I've bought that way. I'm in the same boat. Never graded a card. Although what I'm hearing from my favorite slab and grading company is there's really fast turnaround. Like within a week, like you're sending out your cards and getting them back in like 7-8 days. So I may, through 5-Star Cards, they are a group subber, largest here in the state of Wisconsin. And I may, I said I was going to do this last month, but I actually know where my cards are that I want to submit, but I think I'm going to make a submission. I think I'm going to start off, 4 or 5 cards first and just see how the experience is. There's a Joe Tinker T206 that I want to just make sure it's authentic because I'm on the fence. I don't know. It looks legit, but it could be made to look legit, if you get what I'm saying. So I want to just kind of make sure it is authentic. And then there's some other, and then I picked up a Joe Tinker. Maybe I'll just do all Joe Tinkers because I did pick up a raw Joe Tinker T205 at the National last year. It's a raw copy. I know it's legit, but I do want to get it slabbed And SGC, those, especially the smaller tobacco cards, look so much better in SGC slabs opposed to PSA slabs. I think pre-war, especially tobacco cards, look like garbage in PSA slabs. Like just the visual, I think they look like crap. So that's why I'm team SGC. So I think I drive, take a drink. 9 a.m. p.m. free admission. We're gonna have 120 tables. So looking forward to the next show. I'm sure it's gonna be a sellout. I need to. This is kind of so the funny thing about the shows, and I don't know if this is across the board, but from my experience, I will get a wave of like new vendor interest right after a show. Sometimes like the day of the show, somebody comes in, they love the show, they send me a message, hey, do you have any spots open for next month? And I'll usually get 4 or 5 requests like the day of the show or the day after the show, and then trickling in the next week. And then like the 2 weeks between shows, it's kind of a dead zone where it's like, man, I get a little concerned, and then all of a sudden I go back to the drawing board and look at what I have confirmed and add in all my regulars, and it's like, oh wow, I only have 5 tables open, and then I oversell it, think I'm in a good spot, and then I get cancellations and no shows, and I've got empty tables. It's like it's a monthly thing. I still get ticked off when it happens. Let's see, where are we at in the chat? Let's see. TD says, yeah, I usually grade a lot. Got to pay for a PSA order today. $837 for 66 cards sent in December of 2020. Wow. They got put into the system February last year. Holy crap. Rich says, damn, a 25-cent 1970s box. Need to go to Minnesota, and don't be surprised if John flies in just to go through that box all the way from lovely England. Absolutely. I will say the dime boxes that I bought outright, they were actual dime boxes. He had a bunch of 78 tops baseball in the dime boxes. And so when he said, when I asked how much, do you sell them just as a box? And he's like, oh yeah, $50. You can fill it for 50. And I'm like, heck yeah, I'm going to take 2. So I picked one up that I liked and needed to fill it in, and I start like lifting, he's got them stacked. And so I looking to see the other boxes that I haven't, kind of peered through, and I see there's like a whole slug of 78 tops baseball. I'm like, oh man, because those move, 70s cards move pretty well on eBay at $1.50, $2 shipped. So I grabbed the whole slug and slotted those into my box. So I'll have some 78 baseball, some more added into my eBay store. Rich says, especially since he's now eliminated Boris from a leadership position. Jenny says, I was pretty sure Rippin' One-Handed lived down the street from SGC because his from mailbox to mailbox was like 8 days. That was the first reference I saw. And Ripping One-Handed does not live down the street from SGC. He actually lives down the street from me. He about 2 miles, in fact. And we're far from Boca Raton, Florida. Wisconsin to Florida and back 8 days. And I think Ty from Bench Clear, I think in his latest video with Mike, I think said the same thing. It was like 7 days or 8 days from door to SGC and back. It was like a week. Let's see. TD says, got about 10,000 plus to eventually send out. Holy moly. Waiting for that $15 to come back since most are 80s to 2010. Turkey Cards likes the black on SGC labels. Same here. Especially when it comes to the, the non-standard sized cards, the tobacco cards. It's a nice frame. It's like its own mat. I love it. George says SGC is a nice company. Been enjoying my grading experience with them much more than PSA. Let's see. Jenny says, what kind of stuff do you typically grade? Asking TD Sports Cards. George says, SGC, wait a month, PSA, wait 2 years. Right, exactly. Cooter says, woodworking is another hobby of mine. Very helpful to have a good bandsaw. It cuts through slabs like butter. George says, I mostly grade vintage PC cards. Let's see, especially pre-war, and I don't really care about the grade, just want the look and authentication. That's exactly why I'm submitting to SGC. And I've talked about it for 2 years. I've got this stack, and it continues to grow. But it's only for just basically to authenticate. I think I'll send my Ernie Banks rookie in just because it needs to be protected. So there's that aspect, protection. And in the look, I think especially when it comes to a vintage card, a good vintage card, I think the look in this, I know some people don't like they want to hold the cardboard in their hand. But when it comes to some cards, I would rather have the slab, and it's almost like a museum piece, which kind of goes against what many want in holding cards and having the cardboard in their hands. But that's hobby fun. We can all collect and like different things. TD grades almost everything, sending a rookie Ohtani carrying bag SSP probably Monday. Got lots of older Topps Chrome Brady's to send in the next batch, along with a Tristan Cassis first orange that should get a 10. Very nice. Mark Hoyle is with us. Good morning. One of his long-term projects of putting a set together of 1958 Topps PSA 7. That's pretty cool. 608 Sports Cards. What is up? He's 10 minutes behind, but I like buying on Whatnot. Follow ABC Sports Cards if you want Bowman breaks. Oh, very nice. Let's see. Mark's got plenty of tools to crack slabs. TD Sports Cards. I pulled that Ohtani rookie out of a blaster. Only 500 to 1,000 made. A little over 100 graded so far. George likes PSA. They unfortunately lost me during their whole year's wait debacle. Yeah, I had considered subbing a couple of my ticket stubs. I have the Triple H WWF debut, and I just wanted that slabbed, and I have it priced like at a really high price in my eBay store. And it's basically like, I want to keep it because it's a great memory. I was in the fifth or sixth row at that event. You can see me in the background of the video. I've talked about this. I'm wearing my UMass basketball jersey because I was on that UMass Minutemen basketball bandwagon with Marcus Camby and Lou Rowe. So it's kind of a reminder, like I have the memory, but if somebody came along and offered me 500 to $1,000 for it, yeah, I'm going to sell it. But anything I had somebody offer me like 100, and it's like, no, it's worth more than that to me. I'd rather keep it than sell it for 100. And you're like, it's a stupid ticket stub. But that's what happens when you're a hoarder. And then I had the Giannis rookie home debut that was out of a Goodwill pallet. And I think I had that up for like 1,000, I think. And somebody came along, offered me $225. And it's like, you know what? The pallet's paid for already. This is just pure profit at this point. $225 for a ticket that was in a grocery bag or a garbage bag. Yeah, I think I'll just take the $225. And those were 2 tickets I considered sending to PSA, but it's like, I don't want them stuck in transit for 8 months to a year plus. So I just, I haven't. With the Triple H ticket stub, I might, because, it's probably going to be, unless I decide to move it for $100, it's probably going to stay in my collection, inventory / collection. It's a museum piece, and that's okay. I know some people get upset when there's a high price on a card they really want, and the person that's selling doesn't want to let it go for that price. That's okay. Yeah, it's above market price, but it's like, hey, if the right price came along, I'd never sell my Cubs. Never say never. If somebody came in and said, I'll give you $3 million for all of your Cubs memorabilia and cards, I'd say, okay, because I could replace them. Most of it I could replace. There's some unique items that I couldn't replace, but I'd get over it really quickly for 3 million. I'd get over it real fast as soon as that check cleared. So it's okay. You know, Dylan Cease is a perfect example that I had a high price on, and eventually the market rose, and that was what I ended up moving it for a high price. So the story behind it was in 2015, I started prospecting Dylan Cease. He was a Cubs prospect. He had come off Tommy John. Like, this is like the worst prospecting you could do. A pitcher, A, and B, a pitcher coming off Tommy John surgery as a 18, 19-year-old kid. So I had this Dylan Cease, but he had a huge ceiling, and he's getting there. He's been high. He had a lot of hype, and he's meeting that hype. So anyway, I started buying a bunch of Dylan Cease cards, and one of the things I bought was a gold refractor auto numbered to 50, first Bowman Chrome gold auto, numbered to 50. I think it was listed for $70, and I bought it. And about a day later, the seller reaches out to me, and he's like, "Hey, I noticed there's a scratch on here." And I don't care. Like, it was a PC. Like, I guess I was prospecting him, so I was going to flip it down the road. But at the time, it's like, it's just a small scratch. It's okay. And he's like, I can refund your money, or I'll sell it to you for half price. And I'm like, 35. I would have like accepted it for 70. Like, I wouldn't have noticed. I don't have magnifying glasses and loops looking at cards like that. So I'm like, heck yeah, I'll take it for $35. And so he gave me a refund of 35, and it was in my collection. Fast forward to a couple years later, 2017, I start the 1 Million Cubs project. So now, hey, Dylan Cease is coming along, and I'm watching all these $5 Bowman Chrome autos that I bought are now worth 20. It's like, hey, this is pretty good. Maybe, since I did prospect, maybe I should consider selling some of these just to recoup the prospecting money. And then the gold refractor auto, it's like, man, I listed it in my eBay store, and this is what I did. It was a museum piece. I listed the Dylan Cease gold refractor first chrome auto for $250. The comps were like 80 to 100. And so I get a lot of lowball offers, and all of a sudden, what I noticed over the next couple months, my offers went from $75, and they'd creep up to $90, and different people offering, not the same person. And then all of a sudden it's 100. Okay, I got my first $100 offer on this. It's like, nope. Even though I only paid 35 for it, I'm keeping it for that price. And I'd get the people that got their pants all in a bunch. Oh, this comp's at 75. I'm giving you 25 over market. It's like, no, I'm not selling it for this. If you want it, you'll pay my price. I don't care. So all of a sudden it's like 125, and then Dylan Cease kind of exploded. This is in 2018 or 19. And so I got an offer of, I think, 225. We had gone back and forth, and I think we settled at 225, and I'm like, hey, I paid $35 for it. The profit paid for a lot of the other Dylan Cease cards in my collection. I was happy. Would I like to have that gold refractor auto in my Cubs collection now? Yeah, probably. But, I think I made the right decision. And I sold that, and that was pre-pandemic, and I'm sure they blew up even more. Let's go to the eBay app and see, because I did check recently, because Dylan Cease is having a great Dylan Cease. Let's go to sold. And I think there was one sold or listed, and it was like in that $200 to $300 price range. And it's like, man, it really hasn't appreciated that much. And that's the thing with prospecting. he's the hot prospect and it's going to sell for $225. Now he's actually living up to that potential and it's still $225. You're paying a premium on the speculation. And then once they reach that, it's like, yeah, okay, so I guess he's got a lot of gold autos in the years since 2014. So one sold April 27th, so early in the season. Best offer, it was listed for 300 and a best offer was accepted. So I don't know what that best offer was. And I'm just, if that's number, that was 49 out of 50. I can't remember which serial number I had. I could probably look it up at some point. But so in April, one sold for not much more in 4 years, basically, because I think it was probably around this time in 2018 when I sold my copy. So I think it was a good sale. Let's see. Let's go back into the chat. Jenny says blasters and retailer fire. Speaking, you mentioned ripping one-handed. He reached out to me yesterday and he said there were Prism football blasters at our local Barnes and Noble. And I'm like, ooh, interesting. I may go check it out. And then I thought, you know what? I'm just not interested. I'm just not interested in Prism football blasters. I am keeping tabs because I'm gonna keep my money where my mouth is. I don't know if that term applies here, but I'm going to continue reminding you that I think that Bowman U blasters football that are right behind me, I think those blaster boxes and Prism football blaster boxes, the prices will be similar. And what I mean by similar is I think I think I actually said Bowman U blasters will sell for more than Prism blasters. I don't know if I should have stated that because there's a $10 difference in price retail. Bowman U blasters are $20. Prism are 30, I think 30. So it's going to take more work for Bowman U blasters to surpass, but I still think it's going to be. I think Prism football blasters in September sell for $35, and I think Bowman U blasters will sell for 35 to 40. It's not going to be crazy. It's not like Bowman U blasters are going to sell for $100 and Prism blasters are going to sell below retail. It's going to be but remember, there's significant price difference when you talk percentages between the $20 price tag on a Bowman U and the $30 price tag on Prism. But that's my prediction, and I'm sticking to it. I continue to monitor, and I think the cheapest Bowman U blaster on eBay last night was $25, which is $5 over retail. And I can't remember. I think Prism was probably around the same, 35 with $5 over retail, 35 or $40. So $5 or $10 over retail. George says, I would like to slab my Olympics ticket stubs. That would be cool. TD says, yeah, the weight has sucked, but there's a resale premium compared to others. That's a great point. Like, you have to be careful. If you're selling the hot, people got into trouble by, I'm going to submit Bol and Tyler Hero and Gavin Lux, those players, and Kobe White. And all of a sudden, 16 months later, it's like, oh my gosh, now we have $5 slab boxes. That's what we talked about. Ty and I talked about on Bench Clear. And I know he brought that up again with Mike on the fly. There were at least 3 tables that had $5 slabs at the card show on Sunday. I had one of them. I sold all of my $5 slabs. 5-star cards had $5 slab box. And there was one other table. I'm trying to think of which dealer that was, but there were at least 3 that I saw, and I didn't really walk the room that much because I was spending a lot of time at the bargain boxes myself. The raw bargain box. So people got in trouble. They had those Kobe Whites, and they come back, and especially, it's even a 10 is going to be below what you paid for some 8 or a 9, and let's see. I'm in for the long haul. At this point, I'd like to do cards full time, but I'm not there yet. Jenny says, I'm still laughing about Cooter's comment. Frank, my grass is only this long. There was some good. Cooter, John, and Dan had the replies of the day on the caption bow card. Frank was out. Yeah, I was on the phone though last night. Frank came out, and I wanted to get. He always jabs me about my lawn, and I wanted to jab him back. Like, Frank, you got an in-ground sprinkler. How come your grass is brown? Let's see. TD says, I wonder if Gypsy Queen ever made a lawn card. It would be Allen and Ginter. I don't know if they made a lawn card. Let's see. 2020, they had skyscrapers, long ball. They made rocks in 2020. Oh. I think at least recently, they did farm. So there's you get a tractor, get a rooster, farmer. Let's see, what else do we have? There's another farmer. We've got an irrigator. Boy, I could really get my water green with an irrigator. Get a barn. So this was from the 2020 Allen and Ginter set. Horse. People kind of horse that is that a quarter? People kind of horse that is that a quarter horse? I'm not sure. We've got Herman's card, chicken. Let's see. What else was in this? Down on the Farm was what this inset was called. A silo. Combine. Down on the Farm, Allen and Ginter. Irrigator, barn, and... Oh, hey. That's not grass, but it's a farmer and a garden. Frank calls me Farmer Bo. So those would be my cards. But I don't know. Ginter's been around since, gosh, almost 20 years now. So the new installment of Allen and Ginter. I'm sure there's a lawn or a grass card of Allen and Ginter. Let's see. Jenny says, literally everything is for sale that I own for the right price except my dog. George says, I think Ty system, how they go about it. And because it's something that I have like very limited knowledge of what companies look for, because I see a card, and especially and I think I talked about this. One of my dealers deals mostly in vintage, pretty much all vintage. And he goes all the way back to pre-war and tobacco cards. And we were talking at one of my recent shows. He had bought a collection of 70s basketball sets. And I said, he's like, I think I'm just going to sell them as a set as opposed to breaking them up, and I'll let somebody else do that. And I'm like, I would be interested in doing that. And so my thought process at the time was, I'll buy these as a set. I'll send some off to grading. But then, I started looking at comps, and I don't know, like on a vintage card, I don't know what's a 3, what's a 5, what's a 7. And there's a huge price disparity between those. I mean, especially when you get up to, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10, obviously, there's a huge price difference. And if I see something and it's like, oh, this has got to be a 7 or an 8, and it's a 4. And I don't have that knowledge. And it's not really something I want to. Would I like to learn just to get a better handle on it? Sure, absolutely. But is it something I want to really invest a lot of time and money into doing? No, I want to stay in my lane. I enjoy my low end sales, my bargain box, successes. So would I like to learn more? And I try to sponge. There's a dealer that does the Rockford shows, and he's got his loot and his fancy stuff, and I'll listen, like when he's doing I think he charges like $5 for a review, and I'll listen in, and it's like, oh wow, this is some stuff is something I never thought about what these grading companies look for. So I just got to stay in my lane. Jenny says literally everything is for sale. I just mentioned that. Herman says, can't remember if I said last night, but the 6 hangers are on the way. Seems like everyone is in. Yes, top series 2. And I told Herman, I'm like, I'm in no matter what. It's not about the product for me in this case. Am I going to go shop for a series 2 break online? No. This is simply just having fun with our group and getting some cards in return. So it's all about the fun factor as opposed to the cards in this case. TD says the Ohtani is going to be a long PC card. Should get a 10. IPC Maddox, Verlander, Clemens, and Ricky in baseball, Riceberry, and Elway. Very cool. Jenny says the only Cease I ever owned was a Sweet Spot auto card and went as a rack to the one and only Porter. Nice. TD has a White Wave Prism Cease rookie I'm holding on to until he makes a run at the Cy, which, man, what are his stats? He's having just an awesome – every time I see it, and it's like – it's just it's a dagger because we as in the Cubs, traded Dylan Cease and Eloy Jimenez to the White Sox for Jose Quintana. And it's not looking good. that trade – each year, as each year passes, that trade looks worse and worse, especially now Quintana's no longer with the Cubs. 6 innings. Holy moly. What are his what's his strikeout to walk ratio? Because at times he's had control issues. He's only got 125 strikeouts and 40 walks. That's wow. Dylan Cease, I gotta watch. When's his next outing? I gotta check that out. I gotta watch him pitch. Let's see. Rich says on a very serious note, he looked down his sights, aimed, and opened fire. Oh, I know. Yep. Rich, it was extremely close. In fact, they found his cell phone. So talking about the Highland Park shooter, they found his cell phone in near downtown Middleton, which is basically the closest city to where I live. We live kind of, I've talked about it, gerrymandered. My address is Verona, but Middleton Center is closer to me than Verona Center. But they found his cell phone in just off downtown Middleton, about 7 blocks from the post office that I visit every day. Our favorite suit, basically downtown Middleton is where we do, our dining out to restaurants downtown. It was just 6-7 blocks away is where they found his cell phone. He could have been within a mile of, our house now. And then he contemplated another attack. I don't know. Since he was in that area, I was looking up the various 4th of July celebrations here in our area. And since I didn't realize he would have, because Middleton is kind of from where the northern suburbs are, it would be not difficult, but it's kind of off the beaten path to where the cell phone was found. And there was a celebration just a few miles in Shorewood Hills, which is on the lake, not far from the local card shop on University. It was scary close because, I've been following the story, since it broke. And, I have friends from Highland Park and that area. My friend Scott that I'm going to see Saturday, Skokie, is 12 miles, I think, from Highland Park. I think it's one of the next suburbs over. And I saw the report where he drove into Wisconsin. It's like, that's, it's not too far from Highland Park, the border. And then it's like he was in the Madison area. It's like, oh, crap. Now it's hitting closer. It's like he was in Madison. And then they found his cell phone in Middleton in 7 blocks from downtown. Just scary. Absolutely scary. Let's see. Jenny says, you stated the Bowman U Blasters would see more profit margin than Prism profit margin. Okay, so you're helping me out here. I like it. Yeah, so I think it'll come out to be, even though there's that $10 difference in price, I think that the price per blaster, I think Bowman U, now I'm not saying long term, I'm saying there's going to be a time probably in September, maybe October, there's going to be a time where it's going to be Bowman U blasters will be selling for, and I'm going by sold prices, not just cherry picking. Oh, this one's listed for more than this one, but we'll go by sold listings. Let's see. Cooter says, wait a few years and you can replace your cease for $35. This hobby is a long game. That's true. This will be a bad time to buy. If one sold, and I wonder if there's any. I didn't look at any non-sold. On to them. Dylan Cease Gold Auto, any listed. So the one that sold in April. So that obviously before he's making a run for a pitching award, Cy Young. So there are significant. So somebody got a deal in April. There's 2 raw copies listed. One is listed for $450. Actually, 2 of them are listed for $450. A PSA 9 and a BGS 9.5. So yeah, significant. But like Cooter says, if all of a sudden he has a terrible second half, or in the off season next year, he's Trevor Rogers. And I know this is a name that I know because he was one of my fantasy keepers, and that's looking like and so is Jack Flaherty, and he pitched about 3 innings this year. But Trevor Rogers was another guy that had a great 2021, and then he's just been awful this year. And that could happen. It's pitching is that's why it's like, hey, I can get $225 for this today, and who knows what tomorrow brings. Let's see. Jenny says, speaking of tie with bench clear, I cannot find that video. I don't think it's just yet the video that we did this week. I didn't ask when it was going to be published, but I would assume it's going to be coming out here this week still. Let's see. TD says, yeah, I can play that game, but I never rebuy the collector in me. Paige and Dina Bean, what's up? Good morning. Rich says, is anyone else thinking Frank needs a card featuring his lawn? Ed says, as a seller, you should have at least working knowledge. I agree. I have limited knowledge, but I have enough knowledge to get me by, but grading is like a whole nother sector. It's kind of like, so dealing in sports cards is, the sports card industry is much like, just think of any office that you work. So I'll just use my previous job. I worked in logistics and in the transportation sector, and I had, in kind of guess what you're getting at, kind of a working now. Like I had, when I was in transportation, I had a little bit of knowledge on the different, how different things worked outside of like my immediate role. And I think the important thing is, it's not what you know, it's who you know, in any business. And, if you don't know the answer, direct somebody, know the people that can help. And so when people come up to me at a card show, hey, I'm looking for this. Oh, I know a guy, Pokemon. These guys can help you with Pokemon. This guy can help you with pre-war. This guy's vintage. This guy's grading, slab submissions, wax, all that stuff. So I think yes, and I have somewhat of I know how the system works, but I can't tell you this is going to be a 3 or an 8. But I know people that can, and so I think that's the importance. Is if I have somebody come to me, hey, I need help figuring this grading stuff out. Okay, I can get you started, get your feet wet, and then I'm going to direct you to the people that do it. that can offer their expertise, because I don't have the expertise and I don't want the expertise because it's not my lane. Kind of like in back to that, like in logistics, I was in sales. I worked with companies to move their freight from point A to point B. I did not work on the carrier side. I could do it in a pinch. Okay, we need this truck. Everybody's busy. I need to get on the phones and line up a truck to move this beer from Colorado to Illinois. I did it, but I didn't specialize in it. I could do it, but it wasn't my expertise. I've got a question about payment. Okay, you're going to talk to Gail, because that's kind of how I am with grading. I know somebody that can help you. Bearded Bookworm, what is up? Good morning to you. What's the best and fastest way to list cards? I want to get up to 200 to 300 daily. So what I do is file exchange. I use eBay file exchange. And I typically, I think I did 225 yesterday, and I can get that done in about 3 hours. I can do 120, around 120 per hour if I'm just sitting there doing it, but I don't have that control to sit and type at a computer straight for that long of time. But if I did, I could hammer out 1,000 a day. But it's just, I have to get up and walk around, and I have shipping. So I come downstairs, do some shipping, but eBay file exchange. I've got a link. I've got a kind of a how-to on my website, how to bulk list on eBay. I'll throw the link in the chat. Where are we at? There we go. The template is, I think, mostly updated. There may be one thing. I think grading. I think the grading aspect is no longer. I think grading is just a yes or no in the grading column. Everything else should work. But if you have questions, let me know, and I can help you out. So that link, that'll give you kind of a step-by-step process of how to use file exchange. TD says Eloy is a beast when he's healthy, kind of like Jordan. Yeah, right. Exactly. Tracy says hangers, blaster, or mega packs for Series 2. What is the better buy? Trying to decide which to buy for Series 2. I have no idea. I have not bought any Series 2, so I cannot help on that. Let's see. TD says Stryker did a breakdown on Series 1, and they practically averaged everything out this year. In past years, hangers and blasters were the better buys to get parallels and numbered cards. Very nice. Saw a good, where are we at? Saw a good deal on mega packs, but didn't know which was better. Rich says, Bowman, you the big lead today. No John Nolan. I did. I mentioned John Nolan Drive early in the show. So there's at least one. And if you count the one I just said, that's two. TD says 2019 and before, the fat packs are great buys in Prism and Topps Chrome because of the pinks. Megas seem to be better than the Hobby Box Series 2. Coffee's getting cold. Andrew says, using your scanner, you scan the photos to Image Shack still and then link them into File Exchange. Yes. So I scan them in and I do 21 that said paste them into Image Shack and then list kind of reverse in reverse there. So yes, so I use my scanner, send the photos into a folder, and then I just bulk copy and paste 28 from my folder into Image Shack, and then list them based on the order, so I can bulk copy and paste from Image Shack. Cooters, maybe you should take the chat on a field trip to Frank's lawn one morning. Maybe the Wi-Fi is better above ground, which would also be a plus. It might be. Let's see. Andrew says still have to fill in the Excel spreadsheet. Good morning. Let's see. Jenny says, Bo, do you mind sharing what you sold your Marvel lot for? Please don't feel you have to if you don't want to. I'm just curious as I have bulk Marvel. Yes, that was a big sale for me yesterday. So here's the story. So Jenny's referencing a bulk lot of Marvel cards from the 90s, basically just commons. And I had them. They were from one of my Goodwill pallets, and they were in a box. when I went to Milwaukee a few weeks ago, and I picked up those WWF magazines, the seller there had a bunch of wrestling magazines and cards. So I was interested in doing a bulk purchase, and he had some of them were listed. The magazines were a good price, but the cards, most of the cards were above comps. So I thought, hey, if I could get, I'll get a really good deal if he sells bulk. Well, he didn't really give me any type of deal buying everything. He said, do you have any Marvel? We'll do a trade. And then he only gave me $125 trade value on 1,500 Marvel cards. And I'm like, okay, and so I just ended the conversation. And so I listed the Marvel, about 1,500, and most of them commons. I think there's like 3 or 4 promo cards, some inserts, but nothing crazy. Listed them for $300. My offer, Jenny, was $275, and I took that in a heartbeat. So $275 sale on about 1,500 Marvel cards. I'll ship them in a flat rate box. So a good deal. That was I was sitting on my patio yesterday afternoon, last evening. And I saw that offer come in. I didn't see the offer come in. I was in my eBay app and it said you have 4 offers or whatever. And I clicked and it's like, oh, there's an offer on the Marvel lot. And initially I'm like, oh crap. Cause I don't think I had a minimum set on the offers. So I'm like, it's going to be like $25 or something stupid. And it was $275. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to accept that right away. So yeah, sold for 1,500 Marvel cards, sold for $275. Let's see. Shaw Cards is with us. What is up? Jenny says, I do feel we are in 2 different houses, though, in both in the card room versus the man cave versus the yard. Us in the Midwest invite any Southerners to a lawn live chat during January. We will gladly see sunshine. George says, what's a lawn? Grass doesn't exist in Korea. It starts to grow at my apartment complex, and the security guy pulls it up and throws it in a trash bag and sweeps away any bits with a broom. My dog would, when I take my dog for a walk, she loves, because she loves to do her business on the really nice manicured lawns. And it's like, the people that really manicure their lawns and keep nice lawns, my dog's peeing and pooping in their lawn. And it's always like, we come up and it's like, oh God, this person, and here we go, squat. And, so yeah, so in fact, here's a story. When we built this house, we closed on it in November. So we didn't have a lawn, and B, it was winter. So we went to, there's a landscaping place just down the road that my in-laws had in with the owners. And so they gave us basically a bunch of, what do you call it? Sod, pads of sod or whatever. So we got like, I don't know how many square, it was about probably 16 feet by 8, 16 by 8. There's John from jolly old England. Good morning or afternoon to you. So we laid sod down because our dog has to have grass to go potty. So little princess. Sounds like your fur baby and Frank are best friends. Actually, I had to take my dog in. I was on the phone last night when Frank was out, and my dog loves the sunshine, the heat, like I do. So we hang out together on the patio, and she's on the foot cushion to my chair, and Frank comes out, and all of a sudden she's like, starts the whining because she wants to go over and see Frank. And it's like, stay here. I'm on the phone. And all of a sudden she starts wandering off. She's run into Frank's house. She loves to, when my neighbors leave their doors open, like if they're outside, just leave the sliding door open. My dog has run into my neighbors on the other side twice in the last couple of weeks. She usually gets one freedom run into once a summer. So I wanted to avoid the dog going into Frank's house. John, we were talking grass, no food chat, the opposite of dog food. So yeah, so that's I guess that's how we'll end the show today. Dogs poop houses. So hit the like button if you haven't already. Only 6 likes. 39 watching, 6 likes. Let's change that. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if not already subscribed. I think I'll do I'm not gonna do a dime box video, but I will do maybe a break, a pack break. I think I've got 89 Bowman. I think I'll run a pack of 89 Bowman today that I picked up. Where did I think I bought that at the last Madison Card Show. So maybe I'll publish that later today. And here I am with no topic to talk about, and we go nearly 1 hour, and I didn't even beginning. He said, comment. Good morning, all. I will watch later on replay, but I was wondering, Bo, do you think there are too many product releases in 2022 for there to be hot, affordable products? That's an interesting question. I don't exactly know how to answer that. I don't think there's too many. I may be in the minority saying that, because I don't think there's ever too many products, because be a buyer. Well, maybe, I guess not, doesn't have to be. But just because I don't like a product, I don't like the high-end National Treasures products, because I don't want to spend that type of money on cards, on a gamble. But there is a segment within the hobby that does want and stuff like that. So just because it's not for me doesn't mean it doesn't need to be made. So there's a lot of different products. We'll talk baseball because that's what I buy to collect. There's products that, like Series 2, for example. I'm not going to go out and buy blaster boxes or anything of Series 2, but it's definitely a product that I think it needs to be made, because it's the flagship set. But it's not for me. Series 1, yes, because I get the itch to rip baseball in January or February. And then Series 2 is for me. So do I think there's too many products for there to be hot, affordable products? I think to answer that, and I probably didn't answer the question as it was intended. Are there too many products for there to be hot, affordable products? I don't think so, but here's why. I don't think so because there could still be hot, affordable products, but what the companies have done, affordable product. Take, for example, Bowman would have been a hot, affordable product at $20 a blaster, or $25, even $30 a blaster. But at $45, it's no longer affordable or hot. Is it affordable? Yeah, but look at last year, I bought 40 boxes of it. This year I bought 12, because I'm not paying $45. It's just there's not the bang for your buck there. So I think the reason there's not hot, affordable products is because the companies are not creating affordable products to become hot, if that makes any sense. So I don't think it's because there's too many products. I think it's the price point, and they've missed the mark, where I think they held out too long to where there was too much value, weren't getting the cut, and they just kind of sped right past that happy medium point where it's like skip the sweet spot, where I think they were priced too low for long, that they were missing the sweet spot. They were coming short of the sweet spot, and then they realized it, and they just zoomed right past that sweet spot. And especially with Panini, $35 for Panini Chronicles, hell no. $45 for a Bowman Mega Box. Since I'm obsessed with Bowman and Mega Boxes, yeah, I'll buy some, but I'm not going to buy 40 of them like I did last year or the year before. So I think that may answer the question. So that's going to wrap it up. Rich is going to open another one of his boxes tonight. Good luck with it. We're at Thursday, so have a great Thursday. Back at it tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central, Hobby Evolution. I may do a pack break later today, so just keep on the lookout for that. Like this video, please. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. So that's going to wrap it. Have a great day, and we'll talk tomorrow.